guys? It's your girl Josh coming back to you for Real Takes. Today it's that time again, and it's movie news time, and I have quite a bit to discuss. So you know what? With that said, let's just go ahead and jump into it. The first order of business I want to discuss. A story I discussed last week and pertaining to Scarlett Johansson. It was for a biopic for the movie Rub and Tug. She was getting a lot of backlash for that, and let's just say that some of that backlash has now caused her to decide to step down in the role. It was a biopic about Dante Tex Gill, a transgender man. Now, she had made her feelings known with a statement in regards to other actors playing certain roles like Jared Leto, Felicity Huffman, just to name a few. And I saw her point, but I also saw this as a fact of Hollywood rising to the occasions and saying out a win by using somebody who actually is transgender. And let me just read part of her statement that she put out. She lists, in light of recent ethical questions raised surrounding my casting as Dante Tex Gill, I have decided to respectfully withdraw my participation in the project. She went on to add, I've learned a lot from the community since making my first statement about my casting and realizing it was very insensitive. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And, it's nothing wrong. It would have probably been great. She is a great actress. She's considered up there in A-lister, category, whichever. I never have a problem with actors showing their chops doing all different types of roles. Just like I said, Jerry Lee or Felicity Huffman, to name a few. But sometimes I really want Hollywood to go more out of the box. Now, we have shows like Orange is the New Black, Sense8. We also have the new show from called Pose. So it's not like they don't have it, but it seems to be more on the TV side than it is on the movie side. And I really would hope that they would use this as a way to say, you know what, we kind of learn from, not to say a mistake, but making that decision, now that she's backtracked and decided, you know what, I must take a step back. Now let's use this to go ahead and search for someone in the community, who could be the best fit to play the role. I know sometimes when they put these certain actors in here who are A-listers, not to say they're vying for, certain accolades like, awards and all that, you want to put the great best work out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, sometimes don't always make it seem like it might be more so that, it might be because of more of a wide range release to get more visible. But trust and believe me, if you market right, and they know how to market if they want to get it out there, to get people to see and notice, and then have it maybe start off in selected theaters. If it does well, they open it up to major theaters, and then you will be amazed with what moviegoers can show you, what they like and what they want to see, whichever. It is room and it's audience and fans of all types of films, so it can get the respect and get the views and the visibility of it that it needs to get. So also, GLAAD President Sarah K. Ellison had a statement as well. She says Scarlett Johansson's announcement, together with the transgender voices who spoke out about this film, are game changers for the future of transgender images in Hollywood. Hollywood's changed how Americans understand gay and lesbian lives, and TV is starting to do the same for transgender people, with authentic transgender portrayals being major hits with critics and audiences. The film industry has a real opportunity to do something. That's exactly my point. This is your opportunity to step up now and do the right thing in this instance with this particular role. And I'm hoping that's what they were going to do with that. So I'm looking forward to hearing more and doing an update on who will be actually cast in now the lead role for that. And this is one I'm actually excited because I really want to see this now, not to say before that with Scarlett, but I'm excited to see, who they pick, who you see fits the role, the likeliness of the character they're playing, which is based off of a biopic, and just to see what they can bring to the table. This could be a very new actor who's happening to be trans, or it could be somebody who's a little bit more seasoned. There's nothing wrong with either or. I just want them to get the best person to fit that role and see what they can do. And see where it takes the film, lead them down, with definitely accolades, festivals, awards, you name it. So, but moving from that little bit of news with Scarlett, let's go into some good news for Scarlett that we can talk about, and that is Black Widow. I am excited for her. We now have an actual director who's been attached to the movie. Her name is Kate Shortland, and I'm familiar with her because she did Berlin Syndrome. Great movie. I'm excited for her, Scarlett, for this particular, because this is 10 years in the making. I'm just like, finally. I'm glad, like I stated, that we're going to definitely get the standalone female role with Captain Marvel, but I'm glad because Scarlett has put in the time and the work, and this is long overdue. Now, one thing that does come to my mind I'm really interested. And who else, of course, will be in a role? I'm hearing things thrown out, like maybe, of course, Sebastian Stan, Samuel L. Jackson might be in it, and maybe some other, notables will be in it. Those two would be nice because this could be where I don't know if they're going to do it as a prequel because she could possibly, and I don't know anything, and I'm not causing anything out here. Let me just speak my mind. We don't know where her character is going to be led in Avengers 4 coming out next year. So I don't know if they're going to go, more in her present day with Black Widow, with giving a little bit of her, backstory. They're going to do a prequel. We just don't know. So basically, time will tell. We have a ways to go with Black Widow. Secondly, word is out that possibly they'll start filming earlier next year, maybe closer to the springtime, because this is looking at being a 2020 release. They are full for 2019 for films coming out. So I don't know what she could squeeze in. She would have competition. There's so much stuff coming out next year. So I'm thinking 2020 is best. And they're stating they have an opening in July of 2020. So they might try to snatch that up. That would be nice. So we'll have to see. I'm excited for her. I'm glad this news did come out because after the backlash with, like I said, Robocop, we needed a nice little win for Scarlett. And I was happy that they had looked at so many different directors, but Kate Shortland's name kept coming up quite a bit. So I'm kind of glad she did get it. And I'm glad that she will be at the helm. I think that's going to be good. And I look forward to seeing the buddy relationship between her and Scarlett, to bring, more of Black Widow to life for us to know more, whichever. And of course, seeing some good, fight scenes, some really good backstory. I'm excited. I love Scarlett Johansson. She does a lot of movies that I do love over 10 plus years prior to doing, playing Natasha, aka Black Widow. So I'm here for it. I'm excited for her. And I'm just glad that, besides the other news, she has this good news and all, and we can just kind of go right into that and, move away from the other news, whatever. I know she wants to. So, but moving on. It looks like our buddy Digimon Hansu has quite a bit going on for him. I know he has a movie I did a react to with Serenity. I know he's a part of Shazam, and of course he's a part of one of my favorites I'm looking forward to this year is Aquaman. Now we have a first look with him playing the Fisherman King, and you see the pictures. I will post them up of him, the Fisherman Queen, and then the Fisherman's Princess. Based in these particular photos we're going to see, and it gives you a little bit more of an idea, of one part of scenes and locations of what lies behind all of Atlantis, which I'm loving, and it looks beautiful. The scenery, the overall look of the Fisherman King. Barely recognize Jumanji. I mean, I don't recognize him at all from the makeup he's wearing. He's wearing all full up makeup for the role, and I love that. James Wan has me very excited for him putting his stamp on this because everybody knows him from mostly. Well, for me personally, let me be honest, horror. So to see him, step away from that to do something different, I love that because that lets me know that he definitely has, his creative juices in so many different things, whichever and all. So I can't just base him off of just horror now, which is nice and it's refreshing. And just knowing that he's at the helm, he does good work in horror. So I'm feeling like this might be the role, the character he wanted to bring to life, to show, flex his muscles in other areas. So also, I'm looking forward to seeing their interactions with the other characters, within Aquaman. It would be nice to see. I did post about a week or so ago, of pictures of, Aquaman, with other characters. And of course, seeing more presentation of the mother, which is played by Nicole Kidman, with him as a little baby, little young boy, whichever. And then, of course, knowing that Patrick Wilson is going to be King Orm, and then just things of that nature. So I'm excited to see more. I know during San Diego Comic-Con, we're going to get the actual possible trailer. Now I'm thinking they're going to, of course, show the trailer to all the fans who come out, and of course all the critics, and then eventually they'll upload it on YouTube. I'm hoping it's a day later. Most likely that's probably how it will be. But I know we should be getting it because I would figure they want to wait. I know James Wan has not discussed anything else about that. He didn't want to put anything out too soon because he wants to make sure, everything looks perfectly fine with it. Anything that need to be edited, CGI wise, whatever, so it can be perfect. And I love that he might be in some ways a perfectionist about making sure it looks the part because I want DCEU to do great. We have Wonder Woman, of course, Superman, and Batman vs Superman, whichever. But being that this is the only one coming out this year. We need this to be good. I know we have Wonder Woman for next year, and of course DCU has some other things, down the pike that I'm looking forward to seeing. So I'm excited for the potential of what this can do and how it's going to look, and I'm looking forward to the feedback. I really hope it's some good feedback once the trailer comes out, and I'm hoping nobody spoils it before the rest of us can see it. Because I'm really, really counting down. We have one more week, you guys, and then finally next weekend we'll be able to know more and see more. And I'm hoping over the weekend they showcase it. I do not want to wait till Monday, because if they show it, they're going to show it early in the morning. Bro, I got to work, and I'll be pissed. I have to wait till the end of the day to see it. So I'm really hoping they show it over the weekend, like a Sunday evening. I don't care. I'd rather be home so I can just watch it, react to it, and upload that bad boy. I don't want to wait till Monday at 9 o'clock or 9:30 or 10 like some of them try to do, whatever. Not all of us are home or work at home. We all sometimes have to wait late till we get home, and I just want everybody to be able to upload and enjoy it, be hyped and excited for it like myself. So, but with that said, moving on. There's news, of course. We're seeing trailers and small little snippets of Predator, and I'm excited. Now, I did hear about Predator having to do a couple reshoots. The movie kind of having more of a kind of comedy type of feel to it, and they had to go and do some reshoots to make it a little bit more dark and grittier, kind of from what we were used to from the previous one, which is fine with me. I know Key is in this, so I know he's going to be bringing a little bit of the funny, but that's not what Predator's known for. They keep it more down the hill with the drama, the action and the gore and the thriller of it all, whichever and all. I don't want too much funny in this, whatever, because that's not what I see when I watch the Predator. Now, also what's been noted, Shane Black being the director, we're hearing some wordings about some sort of Predator hellhound that's going to be showcased. Now, I had a feeling this might come up because when you see the trailer, you see the parts of what looks like to be, I don't know if it's a massive predator, the one that looks like he's damn near 9 or 10 feet tall. They're doing some sort of, testing on him. So they're trying to make some sort of hybrid of some other creatures, and using some of their DNA. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm going to post up in here what looks like to been put on Instagram, a picture of what can be like a little test dummy of what they wanted to look up for the Funko Pop of a hellhound for Predator. And looks kind of funny. You're looking in the face, whatever. Now, I will post also the picture of the one from the 2010 movie with Adrian Brody. I would think it looked like more lines of that, but when it's, the Funko Pop is going to be a little bit smaller, so they can't make it with all the tentacles, come out, whatever, and all that. But I like the look of it from the 2010 when they're trying to revamp Predator back then. That were actually nice, because that was a different change, because all we've always seen is just a Predator, never some sort of hellhound of sorts, so that's actually nice. But that lets me know that it might not just be the Predators. We're going to see some other things, and that's fine with me if that's the case. Fine. I love that we're getting a little bit more information about Predator and what's going on with it, because we don't have much long until it's out. And if I'm mistaken, that's September 14th when it comes out. There's a couple of things coming out in September, and I'm looking forward to this being one of those ones I will be definitely checking out. At first, I was kind of iffy when I saw the first trailer, but the second one kind of sold me, and now I'm down to see it. I've loved, excuse me, you guys, the first Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, anytime. I'm sorry, I'm cheesy. I'm sorry. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. So yeah, I'm hoping they are done. Everything's good, because, like I stated, they showed this to a couple of, moviegoers, viewers to kind of get their, overall feelings, and they did have to make some changes. But it's kind of good, because if there's anything like how I feel, like I said, about too much comedy, too much, laughing and all that takes away from the storyline. You're not keeping it more so, because I want to believe that if not Shane Black comes back, if this does well, they might be doing a second one. So I'm hoping it does very well at the theaters, that it'll bring us out, because it's a lot to live up to, because the first one was good. Second one, like I said, was okay with Danny Glover, but I'm all for the first one. It was the best one, honestly. And then I will say, after that one, my favorite one, it adds another franchise. I like Alien versus Predator. I actually like that. That's the one that had Sanaa Lathan in it. I really enjoyed that one. So, but with that said, I'll keep you updated for anything else with that, guys. Now, as for me talking about what is his name? Jimon Hansu. Like I said, he was in Aquaman. He's also in Shazam. We're now getting information about Shazam now, starring Zachary Levi. I'm actually excited about that, because when I saw what looked like to be his overall costume, I was kind of like, I didn't know nothing about Shazam growing up. I did not watch anything. reading anything. So I'm definitely going in this completely blank on anything about his character. I'm looking forward to learning about it. I'm hoping they do the origin story some good justice with telling this, because anybody, I don't hear a lot, I don't see a lot of people discussing it, probably because they've been keeping everything really tightly wound. It will be at San Diego Comic-Con. They're hoping they're going in the same direction, showing the trailer, but they don't have anything to show right now because this doesn't come out until April of next year. So I don't know if they're going to give us more information about it. Might tease us with something, but it'd be too early to tease. I don't know. I want to think they might give us a little bit of a tease, show us something that might be, say, 20 or 30 seconds, and then maybe closer to November, give us a really big actual trailer. Maybe October, November, somewhere in there, we might get something for that. But yeah, I wanted to post up a couple of pictures, kind of see his little, suit, get a little bit of a feel of him. I feel like we're going to definitely get the action, maybe a little bit of line down for the drama, maybe a little bit of funny because Zachary Levi does a lot of characters in movies, where he does, have that little comedic timing at times. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they're going to showcase next week from Comic Con for Shazam. That'll be nice to see, and it'll just open us up to learning more about what they have in store for us, villain wise, whichever. So that's all I have for that one. And like I said, April, and it states April 5th of next year. So yes, we have a little ways to go. So now, speaking of San Diego Comic Con, I talked a little bit briefly about Godzilla. Now we're getting some more information about Godzilla, a couple of first looks of the atomic breath. Love that. Also, some other people who are being showcased now. We're seeing some photo sets of Millie Bobby Brown and also Vera Farmiga. I'm actually excited for that. And a little bit more on the storyline, I will say, because I didn't know a little bit too much about it. It does state in the actual photo that they're showing of Millie and Vera where it says the two are kidnapped in the movie. Hopefully they're still given enough to do, from the fact that there's some other people who are actually in the movie that might be coming to save them, like Kyle Chandler's character, who's actually in the movie as well. There's a more bigger cast, and I'm not discussing whichever, and hopefully we'll learn more as it gets closer to the movie coming out next year. But those are the key people that they're wanting to discuss at the moment. So I only have two different photos I'll be posting, which is, like I said, the atomic breath, and of course a picture of Millie and Vera, whichever. Like I said, Millie, this is her first out of her Stranger Things character, which you get to see her, flexing her muscle and her acting, which I'm great and happy for her. And she's excited about the role. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't say enough about Vera. I mean, the woman has a body of work that I love. So I love to see her in everything. So I'm excited to see what she's going to bring to the table to get me all engulfed, because I know one thing about her, those eyes, when she's doing her acting, she can get you really entranced in her roles when she's just, speaking whatever her character is trying to convey. I can't say I am a huge fan of her work. So I'm looking forward to Godzilla King of Monsters coming out. And if I'm mistaken, it's supposed to be March of next year is coming out, you guys, in 2019. So like I said, 2019 has a lot coming out. I'm looking forward to it. I also wonder during Comic-Con if we're going to get maybe a little tease or just a little bit more information, discussion of all the different characters. I'm hoping most of the cast does come. That would be nice, because if they're not going to show us anything, same thing with Shazam. That comes out in April. They're going to might not show anything. They might show a couple pictures of certain, scenes instead of giving us a teaser or trailer. Then we'll have to wait closer to the fall to see something for Godzilla as well. And that's fine. We need something to get us hyped for next year, as if they really need to do that. A lot of us are just hyped for all the stuff's coming out next week for Comic-Con. So, but that is all I got for that. And like I said, if any more stuff comes out for Godzilla, you already know I will tune you in when I do my next movie news update. Now, speaking of another remake reboot that I'm excited about, very hyped because of the director who's coming on board, is Robocop. Okay, I first was excited when the other one came out, and I want to say, was it 2014? And I was really like, wasn't sure how I felt. Gary Oldman was in it. I'm a fan of his work, And then what's my buddy's name who's in it as well? I don't want to forget his name. Joel Kinnaman. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. My apologies if I'm not. He was in it. And I'm actually a fan of his work. He did, a recent movie through Netflix. And, of course, he's a part of Suicide Squad. And, the potential was there. But the way the story was done, it was done so nice and neat. It was just no real grit to it. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm going to be honest with you. I will always love the original with Peter Weller. I'm a fan of Peter Weller in other movies, but that's the one that just gives me all types of feels, the first one. The second one, I will say this, it gave you the gore, a little bit of action, all that, but it was really nothing there as well. The third one was some garbage. They threw these little teens, little kids in here and made that thing, what was like a PG-13 thing or whatever, and it was just like, you just really just jacked up the franchise. I did not like it at all. I don't know who thought that was a good thing to put that crap out. And then when we got to 2014, I was thinking it'd be a little bit better. They made that, if I'm not mistaken, PG-13 as well, and I think that played a role in why it was not really good. It's like this type of movie needs to stay rated R. So the fact that Neil Blomkamp, I'm saying his name correctly, will be directing this, and this will be considered a rated R movie, thank you very much. Secondly, I notice there's a new trend that's going on where they're making certain movies where they already have 2, 3, 4, maybe 8 or 9 movies. They're just bypassing those like they've never happened, which is rather comical because I don't know how they think they can do that, but fine, I'll go along with it. And they're just doing it where you have the first one and then you have the sequel. We have that happening with the Terminator movie, and we also have that happening with Halloween. So, hey, it seems to be, the rationale they're using in Hollywood, and people just seem to be like, you know what, if that's what you want to do, we're not going to forget. Some of people might like some of those, like 3, 4. I know some people like Halloween, H2O, a couple other ones, whichever. I like the second Judgment Day for, Terminator. So it's kind of hard for me to act like that did not happen, because that one was just a whole awesome for Terminator 2, but it's fine. But for Robocop, I'm fine with that for sure. Let's just act like they didn't happen. I'm curious to see who they're going to cast. That is my next order of business, of knowing who is going to be the lead. Some people would love Peter Weir to come back, but I don't know if they've asked him how he feels and in what capacity. Is he going to be Robocop again? What are they going to, do? I mean, make it where he's, down the road, what has he been doing all this time? How far of, a gap? I mean, that movie was made back in the late 80s, so I don't know how that's going to pan. That's another reason, story-wise. Present day more so, or they're going to make it look a little bit aged, for the look. He lost his partner. Who's going to be his new partner? All these things they can play into that role, which will be fine. And I'm looking forward to learning more. Now that we know Neil, he's excited about coming on board to do it. A lot of us are excited. I'm hyped for it. So as I learn more, you guys, I will relay it to you. Now, there's nothing saying about when they plan to have this released. I have no news about that. So like I said, it's just new stuff is coming out as it comes. We do now have a director, so now we're going to move it along, and hopefully over the rest of the summer into the fall, we'll learn more about casting and whomever else is going to be on board for that. So, as you all know, moving on. Also, speaking of some information with another DCEU, there are now some photos from the set of Wonder Woman 84. I'm excited because it's showing pictures of Kristen Wiig, and it looks like she is in the midst of, using her powers. I'm excited to see. I'm just so excited to see it. I said it the last time. I'm excited to see her use her powers and her being, Cheetah. Don't know so much about the Cheetah part. Like I said, I grew up watching Wonder Woman, but those aspects of it were not on the show. I watched the TV show. I didn't really read the comics at all. So that part I am very naive in that. And there's nothing wrong. You all can comment. Let me know what you all think, how you felt about Cheetah and her part to play with dealing with any of the arc of Wonder Woman. That's fine. I'm all for that. I will read how they state from this part, which was very intriguing, which makes me want to learn more. It says, of course, her character playing Barbara Minerva, it says Minerva will still be able to use her powers in her human form, which I love. This has happened in the comics before, but under a different circumstance. In the comics, I want to say Cersei, who was a one-time theorized part of Wonder Woman, it says Minerva has a potion that grants her complete control over her sometimes unpredictable powers. The potion allows her to change to a human form while retaining her powers, which I found very exciting and very intriguing. There's no word if Cersei being in Wonder Woman in 1984 to this point, but a similar tactic could be on display here, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that's the case. That would be nice. That means, like we said, we don't know all the other characters who might be within the movie, so we might, learn something right now through this, which I'm learning as I go. I'm down for that. Now, the scene of her, they said, the innocent and kind-looking Minerva we've seen before is no longer there with wig and an all-black outfit. From the pictures I'm going to post, as you all see, as I discussed, the user was able to share a video of her leaping into the air, as well as a few photos that show better looks of the unhinged version of Minerva. So, yes. We don't see her, and of course, in her cheetah form, whatever, from that, whichever, it could be just CGI, but they're keeping that really under wraps. I think Patty Jenkins is keeping that fully under wraps because we know that will be one of her major villain within the second phase of the Wonder Woman franchise, and I'm kind of glad. I don't want to see none of that. I know talking about other things like Sony's Venom. A lot of people wanted to see Venom, how he looked early on. They didn't want to wait till October. They wanted it now. But I feel like with Patty, she's doing this the right way. If this is their way of doing it, that's fine, because this movie does not come out until late next year. And if I'm not mistaken, that is November. We have a long way to go, over a year. So I'm like, no, do whatever you need to do. Keep it under wraps. And furthermore, I really feel like they will, because they'll probably be at San Diego Comic-Con next year. And that's when we'll really get a peek into this. That's probably when we might get a teaser prior to San Diego Comic-Con, and then they might give us a full-out trailer by that time. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking they're going to do. And then later on, towards the end of the summer, going to the fall, we'll get those lovely little TV spots they just love to give us. I'm sorry, I just can't stand them things. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, and the more that they show, the more I'm going to bring it, because I love me some Wonder Woman. I didn't say it enough the last time. I'm going to say it again. I'm here for it. I'm loving what Patty and Gal are doing, and I love that Kristen Wiig has come on board, and looks like she's really feeling being in this particular character and bringing her chops, because she is fully known as a comedian. So like I stated, I'm looking forward to seeing her bring it and do her thing. So I'm excited for that. So yes, moving on. Speaking of Venom, talking about, I'm just ready for it to come out. I know it comes out in October. I'm excited. I'm excited that Tom Hardy's at the helm of this, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him just get everybody excited, because a lot of people are really not happy about the standalone from it being part of, attached to Spider-Man in any instance, whichever, and that's fine. There have been some recent photos from the movie that have been put out from Entertainment Weekly. Look really good. Now, there is a discussion about the way Ruben Fleischer is talking about Venom. He says it's more kind of like a werewolf movie, and I want to read what he states in this. He says, he discusses saying, usually a human gets imbued with powers, or an alien comes in from outer space and has to figure out how to live on Earth or whatever. But this is really about a relationship between two people who have to work together to create this hybrid symbiotic relationship. Now, for him, he states also, just kind of talking about how you deal with the transformation, with something overcoming your body, whichever, and all, like a werewolf form, whatever, and all that, whichever, and trying to control yourself, whichever. And I kind of can see where he's going with that. I would never have thought of it in that way with Venom and all, but that is a good way to give a good analogy for that. I'm excited for the fact that we're going to just look from the pictures that they're showing. You see Riz Ahmed doing his part, is playing the shady, devious boss, for the Life Foundation, the Shady Life Foundation, if you will, and just seeing, Tom flex his muscles. Of course, he deals with a particular article where he's kind of put in disgrace, and now he goes to San Francisco, and comes across a particular, story with the Life Foundation, all that he learns more than he bargained for, which causes all this whole scenario that happens to him, whichever, and all that. So, but yes, I'm just excited for the movie. I don't think there's any much more I can really say for Venom. Like I stated before with Wonder Woman, a lot of people really wanted to see how the Venom was going to look, and it got a lot of rave reviews. A lot of people were like, please let that CGI be on point, and it looks like they delivered. I was hoping closer to the summer we would see the reveal, but they did it earlier, because a lot of people, they got a lot of backlash for the fact that they showed a teaser trailer for what a teaser really is, whichever. I really thought that was what it was supposed to be, but when you basically what's the word I want to use, spoil a lot of people online, then they want what they want, whichever. They can't take it for what it really is, but it is what it is. I was patient. It didn't bother me none, whichever, but some people, the amount of whining about it was just unreal. But I know they're happy now, and mouth is shut, trap is shut. Now we can just wait for the movie to come out and see Tom Hardy do his thing, as he always does in a lot of his other work. So I'm looking forward to the movie. It can't come out any faster. It's one of my most anticipated of this year anyway, so I feel confident. Like I said, Tom does a lot of good work, and I feel like they picked the perfect person. Plus, he's a fan of the Venom character from the comics, so that was a win-win in the end. So yeah, so remember, October 5th, you guys, is right around the corner. Summer's going to slide right by, and we're going to be ready for it, and I'm looking forward to watching that. Now, speaking of other things that are going to be, showcased at Comic-Con, of course, Glass. I could never talk about it that enough. I'm really excited. That doesn't come out to next year, but I'm excited the more and more stuff they show. Some new photos have been, released, of course, through Entertainment Weekly. I'm excited about that as well. It showcases pictures, of course, of the three main characters. You get our James McAvoy, you get our Bruce Willis, and you get our Samuel L. Jackson. It shows them what looks like to be locked up. Now, I had to look at it because I'm thinking, okay, I remember the ending of Split. I didn't think we would see that. I didn't think they would give us that little part away so easily in a photo. I'm like, oh my God, I would have waited to see that in a movie, but that's fine. It is what it is, and it shows a scene from a photo of Anya Taylor-Joy's character. I want to say her name was it Casey in the movie. I'm trying to remember off the cuff. Her kind of like trying to speak to the character Kevin being the real personality of his body, whichever. And of course, scenes with Samuel L. Jackson, of course, all flashy. Just love it. I'm just here for it. And also another picture you see where Sarah Paulson, who's the doctor, who's basically, speaking to all three of the individuals, trying to learn and understand all of them, whichever. I would think with Samuel and Bruce, can find a way to understand whatever. But the one with Kevin, played by James McAvoy, that won't be a doozy, but that's fine. It's going to be very interesting to see her character trying to get into the mind of understanding why he does what he does, knowing he has split personalities and has multiple ones. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, I know that James McAvoy put out there he would love for it to be other sequels to Glass. Now, I know this was something M. Night had been working on for almost, like 19 years or so, whatever, and all, to kind of put this together once, he had already had Unbreakable, but it was already something that was in the works down the road. We just didn't know about this. And that's one thing I can say about him that I love. He'll do movies, and then 10 years later, it's a movie that can be, basically affiliated with another, and you don't know until maybe the ending, or not realizing that they are intertwined like they were. And I tell you, that ending on Split literally had me straight happy, because after that, it wasn't that long after the movie came out, Split, that he started talking about, the next movie in the phase to bring all three of those, to make almost like a franchise of those three particular movies, Unbreakable, Split, and now Glass. So I'm just happy. I'm a fan of M. Night. Like they said, some people got worried because he did some certain movies that were very unfortunate. I always say some directors have movies that are duds. It's fine, whatever, and all that. There's no director who doesn't have one or two movies that a lot of us don't like, whatever, and all that, but their body of work is all great. I love a lot of M. Night's movies, so I don't use that against him. But I was so happy when he made this, because it brought us back to what we know and love from him, and just has me so hyped to see the movie. I already know I'm going to see it more than once in that one weekend alone. I can imagine what the trailer is going to be like. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to San Diego Comic-Con. When they talk, I don't see any type of, he might showcase something. They said he might show a little teaser. That will be nice. Oh my goodness, that would be so nice. And then of course, going into the fall, we'll get the real trailer, probably by the end of the summer, because the movie does come out in January of next year. So this year's we were halfway done. So it's here and it's amongst us. You guys come below if you all are hyped like I am. You're kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of interested, not like on your level, Dosh, but that's fine too. No judgment. But I'm really here for this movie. I'm excited, ecstatic to see it. I'm looking forward to watching their panel. They're one of the main panels from Hall H I really want to see. So I'm looking forward to the Anya Taylor-Joy, James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and Samuel L. Jackson being there. Of course, M. Night being there. So I'm looking forward to the questions, everything. So, but moving along. Speaking of more DCEU, I'm excited now that I know that Joaquin Phoenix will now be playing the Joker. I'm excited to see him because, if I'm not mistaken, Todd Phillips is directing this, and it's produced by Martin Scorsese. And that right there has me so excited to see this movie. That's a nice little combo. All three of them involved in this. So I'm excited for the fact of how he's going to portray this, different from the other comic book character ways it was done, for previous, we had Heath Ledger did an awesome job, and of course one of my favorites always Jack Nicholson, whichever. So I'm excited, I'm down for it, and of course Jared Leto, excuse me. But I see like Jared as well, and even Heath. Joaquin, he is a method actor as well, so I can see them kind of really digging into this. Also, I noticed with him, he recently discussed with an interview with Collide. I want to read what he said about, bringing together a lower budget type of superhero movie. I'm going to bring that part up about the lower budget apart again. 3 or 4 years ago, I called my agent and said, why don't they want to take one of these characters and just make a lower budget film about it? A movie, but a character study. And why not take one of the villains. And I thought, you can't do the Joker because, you know, it's just you. You can't do that character. It's just been done. So I was trying to think of other characters. He said, I'll set up a general meeting with Warner Brothers. And I said, I'm not going to go. I can't go to a general meeting. So I'm completely forgot about it. And so then I heard about this idea and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. That's the kind of experience I wanted to have with a movie based on a comic character. I felt like you could get something on screen. Now, I'm actually excited at the simple fact that this is what he thought about years ago. Who would have thought? Now, I said this last week. I like how he threw out there the lower budget. Now, that seems to be the way DCU wants to kind of differentiate themselves from Marvel. Not to say that Marvel couldn't do the same thing, but it seems like the budget they've given is very massive and all for the things they do in regards to the CGI actions, for all the sequences, whatever, and it works for them. DCU might want to take another way to do it. It could be a lower budget, you know, film, whatever, and all, so you can dig deep in all that and really just kind of focus really on that character, whatever. So it's not like they're utilizing all that other stuff that I discussed about Marvel to be a winner at the theater. And there's nothing wrong with that. I said that when I was talking about Birds of Prey. That would be good. They're going to consider doing that, you know, of course, with Harley Quinn, you know, being at the helm, whatever. That would be nice. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually cool to do that. Now, the budget they're considering for the movie to start production this September, is close to maybe 55. I know a lot of them always go well over that. And that's probably a good one because, you know, hey, it's a lot of people in the production, so they got to have a substantial amount for everybody. Everybody got to get paid. And that's fine. I'm down for that. I know for him, stripping away the big budget access kind of takes a little bit of pressure off of whatever. Not to say that, you know, they're still not going to make sure that you understand the character. I don't know if they're going to do more of an origin story. I do know that they're going to base this more around Joker and not stem so much so where the Joker being involved with Batman, which will be nice. And there's nothing wrong with that because we're still waiting to hear more about the standalone movie for Batman, whatever. I know Ben Affleck, I think, is still on board. Still don't worry about, you know, the direct aspect, who's doing it. We don't know anything right now for that. So I'm still waiting to hear about that. I want to know more about Nightwing. It's just so much potential for DCU to get it together. It's like, come on, y'all, come on. It's like, yeah, Marvel's up there, but you can work your way up a little bit too. And I'm like, you got to give us some stuff. It's like, please. But I'm hoping this is a good thing because that will be nice. Because if that's the way they're going to go with Birds of Prey and it works for that movie and it will definitely work for this new Joker movie that Joaquin's on, that will be their niche and they need to stick with it. Just make sure you're getting the right director, the right lead character actor to play the character. Then you found what works for you. Stick with it. You know, and that would be great because a lot of people, some people like, you know, Marvel more than DCU. I like them both. I've said it before. I'm going to keep saying it like that, whichever. I want both to succeed and do well, whichever. You know, sometimes you feel like they hit the mark and certain things, and they taper off a little bit. But I'm hoping James Wan has Aquaman coming out. We got Wonder Woman already solid. Don't got to worry about that. So we got a couple of things coming down the pike for when we're going into 2019, going to 2020. Then that'll be great. So I'm here for that, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, Gus Van Sant, directing biopic, don't worry. He actually spoke, like I said, about that. He says I think underneath the excitement of these films, the size of them, there are these incredible characters that are dealing with real life struggles. And sometimes that is uncovered and exposed, and sometimes it isn't. And so I always felt like there were characters in comics that were really interesting and deserved the opportunity to be kind of studies. And so I think that's what Todd sees appealing about this idea. And I think that's one of the reasons, because one thing about Joaquin, he likes to work a very eclectic, different type of movies. He has quite a few things coming out this year. And that's one thing I say. He's definitely a method actor. And some of the movies he's coming out with, I really love it because he really flexes his acting muscles. And being that Todd's on this and he sees Todd's vision, he's excited about that. And then Martin Scorsese be on there, it's an added bonus. So he's excited about this, doing this, because like they said, he was actually just considering it, you know, in talks. But now that they have these, you know, high powered people, powers that be, you know, in Hollywood, whatever, coming on board, he feels like they can do it the way they need to do it. And I'm looking forward to this. Like I stated, don't know exactly when they plan to start actual production. I want to see that it's possible a release date later in 2019. That means, you know, like I said, lower budget means there's not going to be a lot of action, whatever, so they can keep it more gritty, you know, in regards to the storyline. So they might start working on this maybe later this fall. I'll wait to see if I hear more, and if they give an update on that, I will let you guys know about that. So looking forward to that one. Now, the best for last for me per se. I was happy to hear in regards to Star Wars Episode 9 that Billy D. Williams will be coming back as Lando. I am very excited about that. I'm a fan of Billy D. Williams. I'm excited to see him back out there, doing his thing with that. Now, I'm excited because even though we saw Lando recently, the origin story with Han Solo, I want to see the Lando that I grew up with from the early 80s, was the late 70s, early 80s, which was his character from the Star Wars, franchise back in the day. So the word is out that he actually came out to the most recent Star Wars premiere, of course. Didn't hear anything about it. Now, I do know that the director has changed. We now have J.J. Abrams on it, which is great for me. I'm excited about that. He's back. And then also, there's another person who's been added to the casting, is Kerry Russell. I'm excited for her. She just finished wrapping up the show, The Americans. Great actress, too. Now, they said with her, she has a mysterious, action-heavy role. That makes me very excited for her. She can bring some action, too, so that's actually exciting for me. I'm like, wow, she just left the show and has scooped up a good movie role. That's awesome for her. Now, for him, Billy D is of a particular age. He's 81, so I'm trying to figure out where, in the instance, he's going to play within the movie. Now, he's not going to be doing no real major scenes wherever he's flexing anything, but I did hear he's been working out, getting himself kind of ready for the role. Now, there's some things that have been coming out as well. If he does play the role, there will be something exciting about, who knows, he might have a part, of course, leading the charge with, against, the resistance or whatever. That would be nice. Now, also, maybe some scenes with the Millennium Falcon would be nice. That would be real nice. Talk about nostalgia. Then also, word is known that supposedly as a child, they might do like some flashbacks. He was known as Uncle Lando to, from Kylo Ren's character. So I want to see, we're going to see some scenes between the two. That would be real nice, but be careful. You already see how he did Han. Don't feel very confident about that part, but, okay. But that'll bring back some sort of, as they say, a little bit of his humanity, because when he did that part with Han Solo, it gutted me so bad. Oh, I wanted to grab him through the theater, through the movie, just yank his snack, but we're trying to progress the story. A lot of people are unhappy also, from what I'm hearing, because some people are stating that they're going to just bring him back just to kill him. I would hope not, but you can't really tell, and I can't really assume anything. I don't know what's going to be on the script. And secondly, honestly, they're older now. I mean, they're moving, Star Wars, the franchise, with, present day, whichever. So that's kind of, if he dies out, even not by his hand, you never know. He might pass away in the actual movie. We don't know. I don't know anything. They're going to probably keep most of this, the actual storyline tight-lipped for the moment, whatever. Hopefully nothing leaks out about that, because I would rather be surprised, like I say, during the movie, not in the TV spots and not in the trailer, please. I know they're good for editing, but you just never know. But, yeah, I'm excited just to see him back, because I haven't seen him in anything in a long time. So this will be something I will definitely enjoy watching on the screen. I already love Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but just seeing some of my favorites come back, I'm still saddened by the passing of, Carrie Fisher, and how they're going to do the storyline now, because I almost feel like they're going to have to start all over with certain aspects of the story because of what happened to her and the way they kind of really showcased her in the last movie, whatever was going to happen, because if you all remember those scenes of them trying to get away from Kylo Ren, trying to cause all that destruction and kill them off, and then Luke came to the rescue. I just don't know what's going to happen now, so I'm kind of really at a loss, but I'm here for it, and I'm happy to see JJ at the helm again, and I'm looking forward to a great storyline this time, whatever. I know a lot of people didn't like the last one. I enjoyed it for what it was. There was some scenes that were just like, whatever. No, I'm not going to really bash the movie for what it was, whatever, but I did enjoy quite a bit of the movie, but it was what it is. You can't always, make everybody happy, and that's the whole point of movies, whatever. Not everybody has to like it, not everybody, is going to like it, whichever. No, to each his own, as I say, whatever, and I just move on about that. So, but yes, I'm looking forward to that. So, but that is it, you guys, for my movie news. Oh, I do have one more thing I want to discuss real quick. It looks like our buddy Jeremy Renner has come on board. Him and Jamie Foxx will be the main leads of the Spawn reboot. I'm actually excited that he is now been attached to it. I know it was in talks and he was, vying for the role. I know the director went to discuss and talk to him about the role, but then he came across a recent a YouTube video of something that Jamie Foxx has been doing. Can't remember the name of it, but they showcase him on I don't know if it's YouTube Red, whatever, where he talks to different types of different actors, whatever, inside one of those little trailer, vehicles with it on. Is discussing movies, and they're having that camaraderie, whatever, and all. He recently did one, and I think the director said he saw one and he didn't realize that he'd already had met with him. He didn't know if it was on a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and he reached out to Jamie like, hey, I know you know him, whatever, and all. I like that you all kind of had a little bit of a bonding friendship type of thing, whatever, and all that. And it's like he kind of let him know that he was, buying to get Jeremy on board, whatever. So that kind of worked out. So that's actually a good thing, and I'm actually excited that that's really fun how that played out, perfectly, and now he's on board. So I see this cast is coming together. I'm excited about that. So yes, yay for Spawn. You already know how I feel about that. I'm excited for Jamie to do his thing. I almost wish that Michael J. White would do a cameo, but I know that's not going to happen. I know I keep reaching you guys. I don't care. I really want to see it because I just loved him in the first one. But anyway, but yes, that is all I have, you guys, for movie news. If anything else comes up throughout the week, I will discuss it next week on my regular movie news edition. So, guys, with that said, and comment below with anything I discussed. If you have anything you want to add, hey, by all means, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I just like to bring whatever I know that's out that I find very enjoyable, that you guys will enjoy. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next movie news. You guys have to take care.